What's going on, YouTube? John from RC Garage Works. I'm going to start a new thing. It's going to be called Workbench Wednesdays. This is my workbench at my garage. Not too crazy hot today in Florida, so I'm able to work out here, which is good. Have my fan going. Just doing a repair and some maintenance on my Redcat Ascent. I had a pinion screw come loose. There was absolutely no Loctite on the screw itself. Holds the gear to the shaft, which holds it to the drive shaft. Yeah, so I fixed that. I didn't do that on camera, but I'm going to do the rest on camera. As you can see, there's some rust on the axles. I do run through water on my rigs. If you look inside the housing, I do have the ring gear packed and the pinion gear is packed. Grease will help with keeping water to a minimum, if you will. Now, on these Redcats, to separate the inner shaft from the outside portal gear, it's a special size screw. It's a 1.27 millimeter. Now, I couldn't find this anywhere but Endura. Endura makes it. Very strange. I use mainly MIP bits. I do use Traxxas bits. They are pretty good quality. But when I get to really stubborn screws, I use MIP. Just for the risk factor of not stripping anything out. Now, that should be able to push out. And it's not. Let's see. It's not going. What is going on? Push, the rub screw came right out. I wonder if I need a smaller tip. It won't come out. The thing's pretty locked in there. So for the sake of the video, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. Bearings feel pretty good. They're not making noise. I'm going to put that set screw back in. Nice and tight. What I am going to do is get this rust off the axle shaft. the inside bearing on the portal cover, you have just 3 little set screws. They just hold the bearing in. They don't need Loctite. You're going into plastic. They just have to be secure. It's not going to go anywhere. So as soon as the bottom's just maybe a quarter of a turn, you're good. I put them in by hand. I don't use my screw gun. Now, same thing with my border boxes. I keep them heavily packed with grease. And I just use basically some udder butter. Cal RC makes some awesome stuff. Obviously wipe off any excess. Decent amount of grease will keep the water at bay. In other words, it'll prevent it from really getting inside the bearings. Even though the bearings are sealed, they're not shielded, they're sealed. Alright. Screws. Again, I like doing this by hand, no Loctite needed, you're screwing into plastic. Kind of go crazy tight. I just do like an X pattern on tightening them. So I don't know if I mentioned it, but the new videos I'm going to be doing is going to be called Workbench Wednesdays, where basically I'm just doing I'm doing upgrades. I'm not doing any full builds yet, but I'm doing upgrades and repairs. And I have a lot that needs repairing and a lot that need maintenance. So I'll be releasing a new video every Wednesday. And I think it'll be a good series. People always like to know how to do certain things. And this kind of just explaining how I do it. But especially my crawlers, I do a lot of maintenance on my crawlers. I just can't help myself. Whenever I see water, I gotta wade through it. I'll give it a little spin. Get it all worked in. Feels good. Now, as you can see, shafts are two different lengths, and that is because the diff is not centered like it is in the back. It's always off to one side. So when you put the axles back in, make sure you stick them on the proper side, otherwise it won't go back together. Now on the axle tips, I just do a little dip, just wipe off the excess. And what this is going to do, it's going to help with water getting inside the tube, because the tube is not sealed. I already cleaned the tube out previously. Now, when you go to slip it back in, the axle has two flats, one here, one there. When you slip it in, it goes back into the carrier, it's going to have the same two slots on the inside. So when you're slipping it back in, you just got to turn the axle just to get to the notches, that's all. Now my driver of choice is my trusty old Snap-on. This has got to be 25, 30 years old, 7.2 volt. They still make batteries. I do have my DeWalt. Got a gyro. Got a clutch. This does not have a clutch. This is first gen. Depending on what I'm doing. The Snap-on feels good in my hand. It's got a toggle trigger. It's just easier. No need for Loctite. You're going into plastic. I just get it started, about 3/4, and I start the other screw. When you're working on setups like this, never tighten the first screw all the way. That's it. Tight. Tight. Done. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry for the interruption, but I pretty much finished it up off camera. Main concern was that the front pinion gear came unscrewed from the shaft that goes to the front drive shaft. So while I had it apart, I just serviced the portals, the gears, packed them up with grease. They do a lot of water wading, and yeah, that's about it really. You know, I run small packs. I get plenty of runtime out of that. I got true wheels, Proline Tripodors, which are directional. So when you take them apart and put them back on, make sure they're going in the right direction. I got Proline crawler shocks, which work phenomenal. Hobby Wing WP 1080, and a stock motor. So really the only thing I got to do is I'm going to reglue my receiver, and that's it. Just take her out, make sure she's good. I think on the next video what I'm going to do is I'm going to shim the drive line. And as you can see, you roll it back and forth, there's a lot of slop in that drive line. Now I'd have to say, it's going to have to be with the ring and pinion. So I do have a bunch of shims. They're not washers, they're actual shims. I can pull diffs back out, pull the axles, and maybe shim the pinion. I don't know as to where I can do shims on the ring gear. Probably not. But I can shim the pinion so it sits in a little bit further so I can get rid of some of this slop. I like that full control when I'm descending. You know? I don't want to get on the edge of a rock or any kind of descent and I just have that little bit of movement. Or even going up. Right? But you get out of the throttle, yeah, the drag brake will hold it, but it's still going to roll back. May not seem like much, but when you're out on a course, it makes a difference. And that's considerable. That's a decent amount. Right? I don't think it's anything to do with the training. I think it's all in the ring and pinion. So that's going to be for another video. That's pretty much about it, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. And please subscribe, hit that bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one.